Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband is Paul. We're so happy you are here with us today. How about those beautiful end of summer flowers all over our property? We have still got our Rose of Sharon in full bloom. The goldenrod is out. I know so many people are allergic to goldenrod, but we're not, and what a beautiful wildflower that is. And we also have our phlox out. What we do right below our house by a stone wall is we just let those flowers grow wild. And it just softens the appearance of the stone wall. And aesthetically, walking up to our home, it just makes it look so inviting and warm. We don't mow up there, that part of our yard. We love it that way. It just gives it that wild, natural look. So pretty. But let's get right into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about how we save thousands of dollars a year by using what we already own instead of buying new. And we're going to show you a bunch of examples of that today and just how frugal, economical, and money saving that mindset is. To look at an issue and say, can I do something here to fix this issue? And if I can't, well, then what do I do? Paul is going to show exactly how we did that with our powder room redo and how we saved literally thousands of dollars. We're also going to get into the kitchen and make a recipe using stuff we had already. And we're also going to show you a cheap and easy decor tip. The first thing we're going to share with you is our powder room redo. I'll tell you this, it hadn't been touched since 1987. We are in 2024. So that should tell you it needed some updating and some sprucing. Paul looked at the job and realized he couldn't do it all. We called a bunch of local contractors in our area that were licensed and insured for our area. Please do not have someone work on your home that is not licensed or insured. They need to be both. If they're licensed and insured for the county over, that's not going to help you, God forbid. So always make sure they're licensed and insured for the county you live in. We ended up with a wonderful father and son contractor who were licensed and insured, whose price was super fair. They did beautiful work. Well, I'll stop here and we'll let Paul explain it and show you everything. So I'm just going to jump on here first to show you the before. As you can see, some of the walls were bowed. It was just so dated. It had paneling on the walls and the ceiling was dated. So we really needed to do a rehab. As you can see, they took the walls out. Look behind, you can see the cement. Our house was built in 1943. So those are the existing real walls. Here's the floor once they lifted the linoleum up. And it was just due for a total refresh. Now here's the new and improved look.
And here it is, our finished project. It looks great. Let me tell you how we saved money. This is our original sink and, of course, our toilet. And they were in 1980s hunter green. And we thought it was beautiful. We didn't want to replace them. One of the contractors that showed up said, oh, you got to get rid of these things and buy new. It needs to be all new. So while I was looking through different home supply warehouses, I started to see that Kohler is bringing back the color of these sinks and toilets. And they're about $900 to $1,000 depending where you are. So that is just crazy. So we said, let's reuse what we have. All we did was we had the floor retiled, which is beautiful. We had new walls and ceiling and light put in with a fan. I did the painting. I did the trim work. I put the scutcheons on the pipes. We hung the towel rack. So we have a fresh new bathroom using our old fixtures, saving us some money. I even changed the sink controls and drain. So that looks nice. We had these gold ones on there that were kind of outdated and hard to get your hands underneath to wash. So that's got a nice height there. Perfect. Now what's missing is, of course, the mirror and vanity. We don't need a chest per se, medicine chest, I think some people call it. So we are now looking for a frugal find at a flea market, garage sale, an old style mirror that's in good shape that we can fix up, repurpose, and use in its place. So this wall is blank right now. And also over this, we want to make sure we put like a small shelf, maybe some pictures, because you know, we got a lot of blank wall here, but it's going to be filled in as we find frugal finds to fill it in. So we have a fresh new bathroom using our old fixtures, saving us some money. So a little DIY, that's how we save money on a bathroom refresh.
We are so excited to be on the lookout for an antique mirror or a mirror that's really going to fit that little powder room, and also a shelf above the toilet. We want to have that as well, just to put some soap, some extra hand towels, things like that. So that's part of the fun, not just buying some high-end mirror or shelf. We're going to keep our eyes out. Everything doesn't need to be done at once, right? A little at a time. Now we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to get into the kitchen. For a meal I wanted to make for dinner, we were missing one integral ingredient. I was not going to get in the car and just run to the store for this one ingredient. So guess what? We made it. Thank goodness our garden was producing, so we used some tomatoes, we used some basil, we used some hot cherry peppers. So let's see what we were up to and how it turned out. Here you go. We wanted to make tacos this evening. I am completely out of salsa. So you know the drill. We don't get in our car and buy one ingredient at the food store. So we're just gonna wing it and make our own. Instead of red tomatoes, we are using yellow cherry tomatoes. I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. We've got about a half an onion here, a clove of garlic. We do not have any cilantro, so we're gonna use basil. I looked it up, it said it's not too far off. I'm sure it's gonna have a slightly different taste, but I think it's gonna be delicious. We're using one seeded hot cherry bomb peppers. We're gonna put one of those in because we don't have any jalapenos. I'm gonna put a dash of cumin and some salt and pepper. And then we're probably going to give a squeeze of lemon juice because I don't have any lime juice. So let's get out the food processor because we're just going to chop it. We're not going to emulsify it. Let's see how this comes out. Look at how vibrant this turned out. We're going to give it a couple shakes of cumin, couple cracks of some black pepper, a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt, a few grinds of that, and then we're going to squeeze about a half of lemon, and it's just going to give it so much freshness. Get all those flavors combined. We're going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator, and then we will let you know how it tastes. So I browned my meat, and now I am going to take a little bit of this amazing salsa we made, add that to the meat for flavor. Going to add a little bit of chili powder. I made a pot of rice here. Add, I don't know, maybe 2 scoops to the meat, and we're going to just mix this around a little bit. This not only stretches your meat by adding the rice, but it tastes so good. Definitely needs a little bit more chili powder so we can get that beautiful color we're looking for. And I just have this on medium heat. And we're just going to cook this for a few minutes more to let those flavors come together. This makes an easy, economical, wonderful taco filling so that you are not using just all meat. If you don't have the use what you have salsa like we do, just some jar salsa is wonderful in it. So we're just going to let that cook down, get the flavors all incorporated. We apologize if you can hear the fan in the background. It's the end of August and it's like 90 something degrees. So we've got our fans going. This is another item I had and just stuck in a closet. It's by Rubbermaid. And it comes with this little container that goes in the middle if you need to travel with it. And it comes with a lid. I found it on a clearance rack a while ago. It's time we use it. And I thought it would be great for taco night. We always have so many bowls all over the kitchen table. So we've got our cheese, our sour cream, our lettuce, our homemade salsa, and then these we found on the clearance rack as well. They're Dorito flavored taco shells. Now, Emmy would never buy this. I don't eat Doritos, but they were such a great price. I don't even remember what they were, but for one night, they'll be fun, and I know Paul will love it. And then we have our meat in another dish. I don't like to put hot food in a plastic container like this. Just makes me a little uncomfortable. So there it is. We have used up what we have. This is an amazing meal. So we wish you bon appetito. That was so delicious. If you could have seen Paul and I eating, we were just like, oh my gosh. This is so good. How was it? What did you think, Paul?
It was definitely Paul approved. What a taste. It was fresh. So nice to be able to make things at home with what you have. It's just a different taste.
Yeah, so much so. So give that recipe a try with whatever kind of tomatoes you have. You don't have cilantro, throw in some basil. If you don't have basil, throw in some parsley. It was so refreshing. The lemon just gave it a brightness. With those Dorito taco shells, and you know me, I don't eat like a lot of processed foods. I have to be really careful with that kind of stuff. Those taco shells were so good. I only had one. You'd all be super proud of me. They were so good. What a great frugal recipe. Remember, use what you have. You will save yourself so much money in the long run. Make do. Let's get into the living room now. I have a coffee table in the middle of our living room, right in front of the couch, and we'll show you a picture in a minute. It is so blah. That's the only word I can use. We put our books on it, our remote controls. It doesn't add anything to the room aesthetically. I found a decor piece it was in the window, and I had bought it at Christmas time, and I thought that needs to come out of the window. It needs to get onto this table, and we need to fill it with something beautiful that will match our decor, just so there's some focal piece on this table. But again, we want to use what we have or spend the absolute minimum price. So I said to Paul, let's take a ride to the Dollar Tree and see what we can find to fill this beautiful vessel. Let's get into the Dollar Tree and then get home and do some decorating. Here's our living room, and here's our little mascot, Dixie. So that's the table I'm talking about right here. It's kind of got that farmhouse kind of vibe, which is pretty much what our house looks like. And as you can see, it just doesn't have any oomph. It's missing something. It needs a little bit of a centerpiece. We have this little 5-bottle decor piece. I bought it at a church sale last December, and I've been keeping it in the window. I change out what I put into it seasonally, but now I'm thinking take it out of the window where it really doesn't need to be, and let's put it on the table and see if we can fill it with some things we found at the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree florals were a little overwhelming, but I found these two. It took us like 30 minutes, really. I just wanted to find something that wouldn't stand out, blend in with the colors, and I think we found these two picks, and I think they're going to work pretty well. I don't know if you can see this, but the tips of these leaves have red on them. I think that's going to be really neat. So I'm going to get some scissors, and we're going to start cutting these apart and putting them in our bottles. Let's see how this looks. Here's our finished product. Paul cut each pick to a different length, and then actually he's the one who arranged it. I think it came out 100 times better than I would have anticipated. Look at it with the couch. I think I paid $3 to $5 for the decor piece with the little bottles, and I just paid $2.50 for the picks. Use what you have. If you have to add to something, then do it at the lowest cost you possibly can, but still get beautiful results. We think it looks lovely. It's simple. The thing we have to remember is when we are changing up decor, look around your own house. See what you can move from one room to another. Use what you already have. We can't emphasize that enough. Try to be creative with what you already own and then add to it minimally if you have to. We just hope this video was encouraging, motivating. We live a frugal life so that when things happen and we need to spend money, hence the powder room. We are frugal so that we can save for projects like this that need to be done. We don't want to go into debt. We want to keep things at a minimal cost if we can, because you don't know when or why you might need money in the future. You know, I always tell you to live below your means, and it is the smartest advice we can give you. Use what you have. We have so much already. Question of the day. What have you used up or reused or repurposed or done without in the last couple of weeks? Please share that down below with us, because it will not only encourage us, but our viewers as well. This changes up week to week. I am sure you all have done something to repurpose an item, reuse an item, do without an item to save yourself a little bit of money. And we thank you for sharing that with us. We ask, please, that you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. We are so close to 65,000. I think we're just like a couple hundred away. You know, every 5,000 subscribers, we do a giveaway. And this one is really pretty. So come on in. If you're not subscribed, hit that button and let's get to 65,000. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.